looking at why this year felt so confusing. So I don't know if many people have seen it. We're going to be talking about why so many people feel, well, many people, with a lot of skills, they feel stuck, even though they are very skilled, they have expertise, but they still feel stuck. And we're going to look at the one skill that you can actually monetize in the year 2026. And we're going to also look at the 5 simple steps to turn those skills into income. Looking at 2026, not 2025 that is gone. Things have really changed. And also how to build your confidence around that. So many people, they have expertise, they have skills, they have talents, but they are not sure. They are afraid to even monetize it. We are also going to be looking at the buying behavior for 2026 and also a simple 30 days activation plan for your January that you can start using once you hit January 2026. Does that sound like a good plan? Drop yes in the chat if you think that is a good plan. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you. So for some of you who might not know me, you might be new to my webinar. So my name is Favor. I'm the founder of Talent Brand. We used to be called Talent Brand Limited. Now, since the 2025, we've now changed to Talent Brand Innovation CIC, which means we now spend more time in empowering our community, doing more of community work. So I'm a practical innovation business coach. I'm a trainer. I do international speaking, a best-selling author, and I'm on a mission to advocate for the service-based entrepreneurs. Why service-based entrepreneur? Because when you look at it, it's much easier to sell products, tangible products, and we're going to get into it in a few moments. It's hard to sell, it's easier to sell tangible products than services. And that is why from time we've noticed this, and I focus on empowering anyone who is along this line who are looking to sell services, something that you cannot actually feel or something you cannot touch, but you can feel it. Please pardon me. I've had trouble with my emails for the past few days, and people are struggling to join. Um, so I'm also the creator of the Profit Path Blueprint. That is a powerful framework that we've been using with our clients to effortlessly unlock financial success in their business. As I said earlier on, let's reflect a little bit human moments. So if you felt stretched this year, how many people felt stretched this year in particular? I do. I do. So let me be the first one to raise up my hand. I feel this year is a bit, kind of stretch you. If you're not stretched, then it means you were where you were last year and things have really moved. How many people feel stretched this year? Dropped in the chat if you feel stretched this year. Right? Yeah. Many of us felt stretched this year. And so I wanted you to know that, you are not alone. It's not just you. Many people felt stretched this year. 2025 tested many of us. Opportunities slowed down. confidence dropped. When there is no opportunity, when you try so many things, you start doubting yourself. You start feeling that, am I doing something wrong? Is something wrong with me? The economy shifted. And that is the main reason the economy shifted. And many of us are still not reason to that yet. We are still in 2022, 2023. And most talented people, professionals, creativities, and proven uh, purpose-driven individuals found themselves feeling lost. And let me tell you this, if you felt that way, it doesn't mean you failed. It simply means that you're due for clarity. That is what it means. And that is what we are doing here tonight. So let me share my screen. And let me check if anyone is waiting. Can you see my slide? Can everyone see my slide? Give me one if you can see my slide.
We just fell off on.
Oops, sorry. Let me come out and come back. Wow. I'm joined on 2. Just give me
Good afternoon, sister.
I was trying my laptop as well as this phone. So I think I'm so sorry to be
Can
late.
somebody tell me what they can see? Can you see my presentation? Why you are struggling? The 5 reasons. If you can see that, please give me one in the chat, please.
Yes, but we can just see half your face.
Okay, thank you. So let's go. Apology for the distraction there. So the first thing, the 5, I'm going to give you, first of all, the 5 reasons why you might be struggling in your business, or maybe you don't even have a business you're about to start. Before I do that, actually, can you drop in the chat? If you have a business, you've started a business, can you drop 1 in the chat? If you haven't started, maybe you have it in your brain, in your head, drop 2 in the chat for me. If you already started a business, no matter how big it is, how small it is, drop 1 in the chat. If you haven't started, you're still thinking about it, drop 2 in the chat. Let me see the audience we have here. So I can see 1. 2, yeah? Okay. All right, cool. So we have mixture of people who already started and those who haven't started. So one of the first reasons why you might be struggling to kickstart your business, or you already have a business but you're not happy with what is happening. It seems things are not aligning. The number one reason is identity clarity. So identity clarity is when you don't know who you are outside your job title. And many of us, it all starts from our value, what we represent, and what we are projecting. So a lot of us, we don't actually know who we are outside our job title. Many of us, we've been in 9 to 5 corporate environment for a very long time. And when identity is unclear, direction becomes uncertain. When direction is uncertain, our confidence collapse. We lose the confidence. And when confidence collapses, what happens? So nothing grows. Imagine you're trying to sell something and you don't even have confidence to even sell it. Who is going to buy from you when you do not trust what you are selling? So if anyone has felt that way, can you drop one in the chat? If you felt that I'm not sure I'm in the right business, I'm not sure I'm in the right niche, or I have a business idea, I don't even know, I'm not sure where to start, how to start. Anyone like that here? Yeah. I hear you. Okay, I have people in the lobby. Okay, amazing. So one of the nice thing, let me share again, because it seems each time I try to check messages, my screen disappear. Okay. Right. Let's move to the number 2. So number 2 is a corporate conditioning. So many of us, we are trained for competence, but not creativity. So for many of us who have been working 9 to 5 or whatever shift you do on a daily basis, we've worked like 10, 15 years, in an environment of where you work. And corporate builds your competence while you're working, but it doesn't build your creativity. It trains you, with technical skills, but not how to package your skills, not how to package your talents. And that is where many of us, miss it. It teaches you how to do the job, but it doesn't teach you how to turn that job into a business, a lucrative business, or even how to get visible. And I've seen it. I have finance background. And I've seen many people within finance sector, they find it difficult to even move because that is the only thing they know. The only thing they know is how to work on spreadsheets, how to deal with spreadsheet. They don't know any other thing and they can't. So it's difficult for them to think of something else to do. Apologies for if you've been waiting out there for a while. I'm so sorry. I'm shortly between messaging people and talking at the same time. I'm going to reshare my screen because I don't know what I'm seeing on my screen at the moment. I'm using Teams to do my webinar for the first time, and it feels so strange. I'm used to Zoom for a very long time. Right. Okay, so what we have been saying for the benefit of people who just joined, we've been talking about how the year 2025 has been for many of us. It stretched many of us. And now we want to talk about what we need to do, how we are going to approach 2026. And to start with, we've asked people to drop in the chat whether they have a business, whether they don't, they have they have whether small or big business, or whether they have it in their head. Many people, I've heard somebody that said she was completing a form saying my business is in my brain, which means she has idea, but it's not materialized yet. Maybe you're in that position as well. No worries at all. This webinar is for both audience. So whether you already have a business, how do you navigate 2026 if 2025 has stretched you? And if you haven't started, you have idea in your brain, how do you even get started? And he said one of the things that has been stopping us is identity. So we've dealt with it. We don't know who we are outside our job that we do on a daily basis. So it's typical for us to actually transform our expertise that we know into money-making business for ourselves. Then number two is the corporate conditioning. We've trained for competency, not for creativity. Many of us, the only thing we know is our job that we do on a daily basis, how to do that job, the core job. It's typical for us to be able to take something out of that job to transfer into a business that empowered, and that also make profits. Then number three, and this one I'm going to go special on it, is a faith-based fear, struggling with charging for your gate. Now, I'm going to say something a little bit here. I once had a client, a lady, who paid for coaching. And in the middle of the coaching, she was like, no, Favor, I don't think I'm going to charge for this. I don't think so. So this is especially true for faith people, that fear of charging. Some of us struggle with this. God gave me this gift, should I charge for it? Helping people should be free, isn't it? I don't want people to think I'm greedy. How many people have felt that way? If you are into projects, you do community projects, empowering projects, how many people have felt that way, that you shouldn't charge for your services? How many people have felt that way? Now, let me say this clear but nicely. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So let me say this nicely and carefully. Your gift is from God. Yes, but your time, the wisdom, the experience, and the structure you put together to make the business work, those are not free. Those are not free, and they should be paid for. Even the scripture says it. If you're a Christian here, I'm not here to preach. Let me just admit somebody. A laborer is worthy of their wages. Charging doesn't reduce your purpose. It sustains it. How many people want to be sustained? Now, I want you to do something for yourself tonight. If you've had that feeling for a while that I don't think I should charge, write it down somewhere you will see it today. Write in the corner that I'm not charging for my gift. I am charging for the transformation around it. I am not charging for my gift. I am charging for the transformation around it. Have you written it? Drop one in the chat if you've written it down. Write it down. I am not charging for my gift. I am charging for the transformation around it. Okay, so the next reason why you're currently struggling in your business, or why you've not started your business in the first place, number 4, is serving everyone. So it makes your message too broad, your value becomes general. And honestly, if you're just starting, it's very understandable. I was like that. I was like, I want to serve everybody. I don't know. Many of you, there's a saying, there's something that, they used to say back home where I came from, is in Yoruba language. Let me try to translate it in English. They say, if this doesn't sell, that one will sell. which means I want to let me just sell everything so that in the winter I'm selling, in the summer I'm selling. I just want to sell anyway. I used to do that. When somebody comes to me, then can you build me a website? Yes, I can do it. Can you do that one? Can you let me write my social media page? Yes, I can do it. Just because I wanted to sell. I thought doing it that way would make me have many customers. But what does that do to your business? It makes your message too broad, because many of us don't know we use the same message for the same products and services, and that means your customers are confused. They don't know which one to go to. They don't know what you're special at. And also, we become general. We become general. How many people have tried to buy something online, or somebody introduced a service to you and they say, oh, he's a specialist in this. Oh, he specializes in this. Or he does everything. Which will you go for? You will go for specialized person. You will go for somebody who is specialized at that service, because you believe that there is that notion that they are very good at it. That is where you go for. And that is what happened there. Then the last thing there, number 5, why we might be struggling this year, and why you may have not have started your business. It might be you do not, your skill, you have skills, but you don't have structure, and this creates overwhelming for you. I've seen many small business owners there. There are so many things they want to do. They want to do it themselves. They want to build website. They want to be on social media. They want to reach out to customers. They are holding on a referral, somebody referring them, and this is not coming together. So that might be those 5 reasons why you are not making progress in your business. Now, let's talk about the real problem here. The real problem among those 5 things is that people don't pay for your story, they pay for your results. That is a big one. The research says 68% of people are more likely to buy a service when the outcome is measurable. I'm going to go there in more detail. So the outcome is measurable, it is visible. I said it earlier on that it's easier to sell a tangible item when people can see it or they can touch it. It's like when you go to the market to buy a pair of shoes, for instance, you go with your cash or your debit card or whatever, you give it to them at the counter, they hand over the shoes to you, right? And you're going home, even though money has left your pocket, but you're going home with that pair of shoes, you know that I've got something for my money. But when you're servicing, it's a bit different. So if you're a coach, you're a tutor, for instance, and you are trying to sell to a parent, I'm going to coach your children 11 plus. Well, let me use 11 plus because that's the phase I just went past. So I'm going to coach your kids to pass 11 plus, and I'm going to charge you 5,000 for 6 months, for instance. You're going to say, what? What's it going to do? Coach my kids. So how? You see, because you cannot, they are saying it, but you cannot take their words for that product. You can't feel, you can't touch it. So it's a bit, the person now needs to convince you the more, to tell you how she's going to do that, the element, to make to justify that she's charging you for that 5,000. So, which means these things are one of the things that is slowing us down. So, if buyers can see the transformation they are going to bring. The transformation is the exchange. When you go to the market, as I said, you hand in your cash to them, or your credit card. They take money from your bank and they give you that pair of shoe. That is the transformation. The transformation there is the exchange of goods that you part with your money. So then, when you're selling services, what is the transformation that you're bringing? So no matter how talented you are, if these things are missing, then you might struggle to sustain your business. I just use this image to see, you can see one is well defined. You can see it's very clear. I will go for something that is very clear. How many people will do that? Which will you go for? The cleared one or something that is not very, very clear? Which of them will you go for? Okay. So why are your approach not working? Many of us, we've used so many approach and we've done so many things, but yet we are not seeing any results. So this is again the illustration about selling tangible item. When you sell, when the item feels tangible, when they can perceive it, then even in one-time exchange, they can see that transformation in it. They begin to trust you. And there's ongoing transformation, even though it's a service. So many of the things that we've been doing, many of us, you must have been watching YouTube videos, copying others doing something that you're doing if you're in the same industries. So this person is doing it this way. Let me do it that way as well. Doing the same thing. I had a client as well, and she was going to start up what's it called, estate agents, is that what it's called, like estate agents? So she was going to be letting houses out, something like that. Yeah, housing agent, that's what it's called. And so we started the program, and I remember at the early stage she was like, no, Favor, no, that is not the way it's being done. No, 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 I want to do it the way the markets, they do it in the market. I said, okay, well, fair enough. The difference is that if you want to do it the way they do it, the way ABC do it, you're going to get the same results. And that is the difference. So again, many of us have been doing that. Many of us have been on social media. They say if I post on social media 24/7, I'm going to get the breakthrough in my business, and it's still not working. How many people have gone through that? And another thing that many of us might not pay attention to, you've been undercharging your services. For people who have services here or products here that you already have a business, you may have been undercharging. When you undercharge your products of value, most likely customer will perceive it as being undervalued. And again, just reflect and think about it. When you go to the shop, you see expensive item, the same product, they deliver the same thing. One is expensive, one is cheaper. Many of us, I mean, it depends. Many of us immediately, the notion that comes with that is that the most expensive one is one that has the big value. So again, if you've been cutting down your price, thinking that will bring more customers to you, is actually the other way around. It will devalue your product, and it will bring general customers to you. People who don't value your service, people who don't value what you sell. So again, that is the disadvantage of that. And many of us, we've been guessing, we've been overthinking. Will this one work? Let me try again. Let me refine it again. Let me redo it again. And many of us, we've been following trend. As I said earlier on, we've been following what is happening out there. And all these things, what do they bring? They bring exhaustion. We just get tired. We get frustrated because it's not working. In fact, another things I've seen, especially within our local our community, we tend to, like, once it's not working, after 6 months, we pause, we move on to another one. What is working again? We look for things that at the end of, because we follow trend. Insurance, what do they call MMM? We follow MMM trend, and honestly, there's different from this is different from when you're doing something that you're truly passionate about. It's different when you're selling your own brand, when you're selling your own story. It's truly different. The results you get is truly different. So let's talk about us now resetting. Let's pause. Let's take a break from 2025. Everything you've experienced, let's shift it. So I'm going to be sharing with you 5 steps that you need to make a difference in your business in 2025, 2026. And whether you've not even started a business, get your pen ready and make notes, and you can do screenshots if you want. The first step is to identify your highest value skills. So your highest value skill is, what is it that you can do the best? What problem do people bring to you? So let's do these activities as we go. You can probably drop it in the chat. What kind of problem do people bring to you to solve for them? So again, don't overthink it. Then when you're looking at it, many people like, oh, I can sing very well. So you need to think about it. In the previous slides, we talked about transformation. That is very, very important. Anything you're selling, any services you're selling, if it does not bring transformation, we're going to have a problem. So there must be transformation. So what kind of problem do people bring to you for you to solve for them? So that means that problem already exists. Okay, let me see my comments if I can see. Okay, accounting. I can only see accounting. My message keeps going off and it's asking me to refresh. Somebody's in the lobby. Okay, so once you identify that highest value that you have, what is it that you do? People bring to you. So it has to be, you want to make it really niche, as in very, very niche. What kind of skills do you have? There is not just the job you do, for instance. So let's say, for instance, you're a barrister, for instance, or a lawyer, and you work in an organization, for instance, and so you could say the kind of problem you solve is not being a lawyer, a solicitor. What you do might be the kind of problem people bring to you might sometimes could be like they come to you to advise them on their mortgage, for instance. They come to you to advise them on their commercial legal thing. And this is what you do to advise them. So you want to be specific as possible. Okay, so then we're going to turn that into an offer. And we're going to price, then we activate January plan. So let's take it bit by bit. So identify your highest value skills. Your highest value skill is not necessarily the one you love. So I think I mentioned that earlier. You can't just say, yeah, I love singing. No, it's not all about what you love doing. It's about the transformation you're bringing. It's about the problem you're solving. It is the skills people already come to you for. So I hope somebody has written that down. Now, let's go. The next step is to turn it into an offer. So when we say we are turning this into an offer, please, it has to be one offer. And for some of you, you might not know what I mean when I keep saying offer, offer, offer. Offer means package. It means your product. It means your services. It means what you want to sell. So that is what I mean by offer. So now you've chosen what it is. You've written down what it is. So let's turn it into an offer. What is it that you want to sell? In order to turn it into an offer, we are going to look at target audience. Who do you think we need that service? Who do you think? Look around you, look at your community, look at your neighborhood, look everywhere around you. What kind of audience? Is it women over 50, or children, or boys, or Who do you think we need that service? That's number. I've seen a couple of people have joined because our time is well spent, so I'm going to be sharing the recording. I won't be able to go back to what we've covered so far. Apologies for that. So then, what problem are you solving? I think we've covered that. What problem are you solving? So you want to write it down. So this first step is your foundation for clarity of if you haven't started your business yet. And even if you start your business, you have so many products that you are serving. Focus on one. Let's create one together tonight. Once you create this one, you can replicate it and create more if you want, but it has to be one product, one offer. So what problem are you solving? So let's say, for instance, I use an example of solicitor or a lawyer. What problem you helping them to solve? So when they come to you, you help them do research on their legal implications, on commercial laws or something like that. So what they need to do when they want to start a business, what they need to do if they want to rent a part of their house to do their business, you do all those research for them, you write it down and you give it to them and they're like, oh wow, I didn't know this. Oh wow. Some of them without you even asking, they're like, oh, I'm going to send something to your account. Oh, thank you so much. So you're solving a problem. That is a problem you're helping people to sell. You've helped like 2-3 people to solve that same problem. So write it down. Now, the next thing to do that clarity is clear outcome. Now, you need to define what is the outcome. This is the transformation bit, which is what customer pays for. So what are they going to get after you solve that problem for them? So if I use as an example of this lawyer, for instance, or solicitor, so if they send the outcome, the report to the person they are helping, it might help that person to have clarity before they set up their business. For instance, it might help them to strike a good deal with their mortgage if they are mortgage specialists. It might be that for talking to this person, they're going to save an individual like 10 grand because they've spoken to them before they even step into buying a mortgage. So what is the outcome? Your outcome must be tangible. It must be measurable. It must be, even if we cannot touch it, we must be able to see it. So I hope everyone is still with me. Please give me one if you're with me. I don't want to be talking to myself. Give me one if you're still with me, if we are together. Give me one in the chat if we are still together. I'm checking your chat. Advice, prospective, advisory planning, organizing. Okay, so I see people who are putting what they are doing there, what their skills are, advisory, planning, and organizing. So if you're putting advising, planning, and organizing, okay, that is good, but there's a way you can combine it together so that it's one, or there's a way you can repurpose it so that it shows clearly that you're solving a problem. Thank you so much for your one. Thank you. That's inspiring. Okay, so let's move on. Clear outcome, we've said clear outcome. This is what you're going to get if you pay for me to do this for you. Yeah? The next one is a process. So a process is what you need to do for the outcome to be delivered. So many of us struggle in this. A process may also mean that the actions that you need to take, it might be that the things that the customers need to do as part of it. So what process does it involve? Now, any process you're doing, let me say this to you clearly. Customers don't care how you produce your services. They don't care whether you use 1 gallon of water, one anointing oil in it, 1 liter of anointing oil, or one special They don't really care. What they care is, does it solve my problem? Does it save me money? Does it reduce this problem away from me? Then the time delay. How long do I get the results? So that you need to consider that in your process. And then, yeah, we shall have covered a timeline. is very, very important. There's what we call it time delay. How long from the time they start talking to you do they get results? So if your offer is too broad or is too flexible, nobody buys. Know that. So it has to be intact this way. Don't make it too broad. I'm a service offer. I offer XYZ. Da, 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 da. No, it's too much. Yeah. Okay. Step 3 is how to position yourself for in 2026. Okay. So people don't really want, your and I think I've mentioned this earlier as well, is how to put they really want something tangible. They don't want somebody like, you're just there, or the product is just, they don't know how to deal with the product, they don't know how to maneuver it. They want guides. They want something really ready to solve their problem. They want somebody who can take that problem away from them. They want clarity provider. Those are the things that is in vogue for the past 5 years in the service industry. People want guides. People want problem solvers, things that will take a problem away. Then clarity provider. If you're in the business of providing clarity, a counselor, guidance, that industry, those are the things that are in vogue now. So you want to position yourself. It's also how do you speak about your value? How do you describe your offer? How do people hear that offer from you? Does it tell them what you really do? Right. Price with confidence. People don't pay for your hours. They pay for the outcome. I think I already said that. So if your offer solve a 1,000 problem, it means that you cannot charge 50 pounds. So pricing is emotional, and it's not just the math in it. It's not just the number. It's tied to confidence and also identity, which we've covered earlier. It's tied to the identity. Can they identify the offering you are offering with their need? And did you communicate it clearly? Is it very clear what you are offering? Okay, so again, value alignment. So as we said, is pricing is emotional, not just the number in it. And one of the things that is very, very important, one of the things I teach in our masterclass is how people perceive what you sell as a real value. So I work out this mathematics of dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement. You now divide it by time delay times effort and sacrifice. That equal to your value. I know this sound like almighty formula, doesn't it? And I know many of you will have forgotten your almighty formula that you did how many years ago. These are the things, this is the way we help you set up your value when we work with you on a one-to-one on our group coaching. So again, your transformation is not charging. It's not charging. It empowers you to serve more people, not fewer people. So, which means this is for particularly, I'm repeating this again and again about faith and pricing. Your transformation is not about, you're not charging to reduce yourself. You're charging to empower yourself so that you can serve more people. And that is what God really wants you to do, to serve more people, to multiply, to take dominion. Okay. So this is how we're going to activate our plan for 2026. We say we're going to create that offer. I will lay the foundation for that offer. How many people is happy with that foundation we lay for our offer? How many people get that tight? Drop me one in the chat if you got your offer in a way that you feel a bit more confident. Yeah? Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So we also said messaging. So your messaging is one message, one offer. And your message must be clear and direct, clear and bold to what you're offering to those audience that we set earlier on at the very first step. Those are the people you're telling your message to. So, for instance, a solicitor, I help women over 50 who are looking to buy their first house to achieve X so that they can save 10,000. Simple. Do you understand? So if you see somebody talking like that, if you're looking for that kind of person, he doesn't need to repeat himself anymore. It's very clear. This is the person I need for my problem. So we also now want to choose one channel. This is your timeline for 2016. You might want to take a screenshot of this. You might want to take a screenshot of this. Thank you for joining again. People who have joined later on, as somebody just came in now. So you might want to take screenshots of this. So you set your offer, one message that you're going to be sharing, one channel. Don't try to be on social media, all over social media. You can't make it. It's too much for you. I'm a superwoman. I can't even do it. It's draining. Choose one. Where are your audience? Where are they based? If your audience are young adults, you might want to look at Instagram. If you have people like say 50 and above or thereabout, you might want to stay on Facebook. And if you're really into service, seriously, LinkedIn is your go-to. LinkedIn is a good place to promote, to talk to your potential audience. But if you're not there yet, you can start with the Facebook, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of content, if it's service based. And also 1 hour per week. Just target 1 hour per week in 2026. How you're going to start all this plan. 1 hour per week. What am I doing this week? Let me start by identifying my offer. Let me write it down. Let me create my account. If I don't have LinkedIn, let me do my profile. Set 1 hour time for yourself and one transformation. So any offer that you're creating, there must be one transformation. Don't try to get two transformation. That might be too complicated or too bothersome for you. One transformation you're going to give your clients. One target group. I think I can't mention this more than enough. Don't try to serve men and women, or especially if you're just starting. Even if you already started, it might be the reason things are not moving the way you expected. One group of people, that you're targeting, no two groups, no three groups, one group of people. If you're going to serve, for instance, I'm going to serve female, let it be female. If you can serve men and women, but there must be something you're using to differentiate them. You could say people over 50 with diabetes, something like that. People who are trying to, something like that. So success loves simplicity. That's what I put there. Um, this is one of our clients. Sarah is a woman with 15 years of experience working with teens and teens and families, their parents. Very smart, very highly experienced, and purpose-driven as well. But she was so scared to charge. And when she told me like, Favor, I don't mind helping people for free. God gave me this gift, and I know somebody has said this earlier on that year. They're like that. I don't want to charge for it. But she felt exhausted. She was tired. She was trying to get funding. She couldn't get funding. She got frustrated. And on getting on the call with Sarah, we put together, first of all, identify our core skills and package it into one structured offer and connected her purpose, what she really wants to do, to pricing so that she can charge for what she delivered, the value she delivers. And she shifted from charging £50 per person to £450 for our package. And people started paying her because value became tangible. They can see the value. And her confidence came back. And she didn't change who she was. That didn't change who God called her to be. She charged how she packaged who she was. That was what she did. That was the change that happened there. So you don't need another year of confusion, do we? No. You need clarity, you need structure, and you need confidence. And I'm sure that is why you're here today. So we've covered why you've been struggling and why it is not your fault. We also talked about identity, your highest value, and income ready skills that you can use to generate income in 2026, how to turn your skills into a simple, tangible offer that people will pay for that will also make an impact. Also, what an income ready offer must include in 2026. That was what we just finished now, and how to activate it in January, which is the timeline we gave earlier on. So drop in the chat if you found this valuable. I'm waiting to see. I'm checking. One. Amazing. Thank you. Yes. Bubbling for exact man. Okay. Right. So even if 10% of what we've covered today, your confidence, your clarity, and your ability to earn from your skills will already look different in January. I believe so, right? But this is the truth. Information changes your awareness. But what really changed our lives is implementation of it. We all agree. We all know that, right? That it's not amount of the information we consume, is how we implement it and when we implement it. Chat, let me know if you agree with me. Type yes in the chat if you agree. This time around, yes, not one. So if okay with you, before we close tonight, can I take 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes to show you how I've been helping my clients to gain clarity and to get ready for 2026, income ready for 2026. Let me see your answer in the chat. If you're ready for me to do that, give me yes in the chat. I'm checking my chart. Yes. Amazing. So one thing I know is that you're not lazy, hence you're here. Otherwise, you will have been in your bed now. You're not confused because you gained that clarity now. You're not lacking skills. You're not stopped because because you want to change. That's why you're here. So I'm going to show you how this is like. The next step, since today has resonated with you, is to introduce our intensive mastermind. So if you want help turning this clarity we've gained tonight into something real, rather than just making a note, and after this session, you drop the note in your bag, I do love to invite you to my 3 hours pricing and positioning intensive. It's a small group, practical, hands-on session where we build your offer together, pricing and positioning fully mapped with you, clarify your message and your next 30 days plan to launch that offer. It also comes with a one-to-one follow-up. So after the group session, we have a one-to-one to see how you're progressing, to see if there's anything you can change or tweak after that. And you also get a full sales page template. So what does that mean? It means that when you prepare your offer, you're not going to be telling everyone that, yeah, I now sell, I now practice my, I now do my soliciting thing and I just talk about it. When people now ask you, oh, what do you do now? Oh, you tell me about what you started, your new business, your new offer. Hey, here's a link to the page. So I give you the template that we have been using to sell our services. Step by step is already pre-built for you. You just pre-fill your own information that we've worked together in it, which means no stress. Everything is pre-ready for you. That is what that is all about. And what this mastermind is not about, it's not online course. It's not motivational webinar. It's an hands-on work because we're going to work together. There's going to be hot sitting, Q&A in between. We're going to be working it together, build your offer together. So it's not something that you just come like a normal webinar. No, we're doing it together so that when you finish after the 3 hours, you have your package, your offer ready to start selling. It is the exact framework that I use with my client to break free from confusion, charging confidently, and work boldly in their purpose. I use the same to write my best-selling book as well. And it also helps women who once felt too nice to charge finally own their own worth and see clients responding differently. So it's the same framework I've used for all this. So if tonight gave you clarity, imagine spending 3 hours together to fully implement everything we talked about tonight and even more. I'm going to drop a chart a link in the chat. If you are ready, I will be honored to walk this journey with you. Does this sound exciting to anyone? Does it sound exciting? Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Amazing. I'm going to drop a link in the chat now because you've given me the permission to do so. Let me fetch my link out. Right. Yeah, amazing. I've just dropped a link in the chat. And if you have any question, I'm going to open the floor for Q&A. Any question at all, let them come in. So if you've tried many years trying to figure things out and it's still not coming together, I wish you give yourself that permission tonight to say, you know what? Let me try something different this time around. Let me do it differently. Let me invest in myself, in my business, in my future tonight. And let me set the pace for 2026. So I'm hoping for Q&A. Any question at all? Okay. Somebody's asking me, how long is the session for? Okay, the session is only 3 hours, but 3 hours that is worth like 1 year worth of work that you've probably done in the past. It's only 3 hours. It's also in a group format. So you're going to have other people like yourself who are aspiring to make a difference, change things. You're going to have them in the room, and also opportunities to connect, opportunity to learn from others, and we're going to work together and prepare your offer within that 3 hours. Going on with ready-made, ready-to-sell package. I hope that answered that question, Karen. Any other question? Amazing. Got you. Someone just sign up for that. Amazing. See you. The session, okay, somebody's asking when is it going to be? So it's happening in January. We're going to start the new year with that. So which means you already kind of set that space for how you want your 2026 to be. So we're going to start the last Saturday of January 2026. That is when it's going to hold. So it's also a Saturday for the benefit of people who work. So that you know it's a Saturday that's not a working day. Somebody asked if they can pay installments. Yes, you could actually do, because we are having this webinar today. That's the last webinar we're having for the year. So you can split your pay now and January. If you want that offer, please send me a message. I will make an arrangement for that to happen. Okay, somebody's asking me very interesting question. Please confirm me there's a discount. Okay, now I'm going to say this to you. If you already have a business here and probably if you're starting again, one of the things we'll be doing during the session is also about pricing, because everything is around positioning, how you position your package. Discount is a good thing. I do give discount, but many a times when you discount your offer, it means you're bringing down the value, you're reducing the value. Because I want to give you quality rather than quantity, I'm not giving discounts on this one. Plus, rather than giving discount, I would rather give you more value. So ask me if I'm giving more value, and I will give you an answer. I will give you more value that you can say, wow, this is definitely worth more than £2,005. Okay. All right. Yeah, somebody else made some payment. Let me stop sharing so I can see your face. I'm going to drop the link in the chat again. And but overall, have you found value in our session tonight? In one statement or words, how have you found it? Did anything shift? Did you think differently now? Let me hear how you feel in the chat. I've also used the same framework for myself. And many of you who are connected with me, you will be saying new things that I'm doing in the new year. We just have to think differently the way we do business because things have changed, economy have shifted, and we have to shift with it. Otherwise, we'll be left behind. I got some comments there, questions, clarity, great. Thank you. Motivated, amazing, truly valuable. One offer resonates with me to keep success simple. Yes, indeed. This is the first for you. Okay. I like those words. Keep them coming. Thank you. I'm going to drop the link in the chat again. "2026 here we come." Yes. 2026 here we come. Thank you so much, everyone. If you haven't got any question, you're welcome. But if you ever have any question, you can email me. I'm going to be sending the replay to everyone because few people joined halfway through the session and probably you want to go through it again. I'm going to send the replay to you and I'm going to send you some emails as well. I'm sure you are bored of me now with my email. Pim, 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 pim. That is a part of structure you probably want to add to your system. We call it automation. System is very, very important in this age that we are. Things are moving so quick and we don't want to do business that we now become slave in that business. So like doing business is like doing another job. So those are the kind of elements that comes into our framework. Amazing. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.